The lobby of Apex Corp was a sprawling cathedral of glass, polished chrome, and icy silence that only extreme wealth could command. Every surface reflected the clinical, sterile ambition of its leader. Sterling, the CEO, strode through his empire with the gait of a man who owned the air itself. His bold red tie was knotted with surgical precision, a splash of color that signaled his aggressive dominance. To Sterling, the world was a binary equation of assets and liabilities. Empathy was a defect, and anyone not actively inflating his stock price was a disposable nuisance to be cleared from his path. As the morning rush slowed, a woman entered who looked like a glitch in Sterling's perfect matrix. Genevieve appeared disheveled, her deep navy trench coat intentionally stained with faux road grime, and her white silk shirt rumpled. She gripped a worn yellow canvas backpack as if it held her entire life. To the high-level executives passing by, she looked like a drifter who had wandered into the wrong zip code. In reality, this was a calculated deep dive. Genevieve was the enigmatic founder and silent majority shareholder of Apex Corp, an entity known only to a tight circle of lawyers. She was here to witness the hostile culture her board had been whispering about, and Sterling was about to provide all the evidence she needed. The conflict ignited when Genevieve moved toward a sleek, minimalist bench crafted from imported marble. As she sat, Sterling stopped mid-sentence with his lieutenants, his eyes narrowing. He made a direct, predatory beeline toward her, his loafers clicking sharply against the floor. "Hey, you got 3 seconds to stand up. This isn't a homeless shelter," Sterling barked, his face contorted into a realistic, unmasked expression of aggressive disgust. "I have an appointment at noon. I'm just waiting quietly," Genevieve replied, her voice remaining a steady, deep navy tone. She stepped back defensively as he closed the distance, her hands held open in a non-threatening, de-escalating gesture. Sterling saw her defensive posture as an invitation to exert total control. He lunged forward, invading her personal space so abruptly she had to lean back. He violently slammed his open palm onto the marble back of the bench right next to her ear, the crack echoing through the lobby. When she didn't flee, Sterling's temper flared. He reached out and grabbed the collar of her deep navy trench coat, twisting the fabric into his fist and physically jerking her off the bench. He began pulling her toward the massive polished glass doors with strength fueled by petty rage. "I set out. Your kind pollutes the brand I built. Get your filth out of my building." The justice debt began to accumulate at an alarming rate as Sterling's executive assistant, Roderick, scurried forward. Wearing a bold red-trimmed vest, Roderick sought to prove his loyalty through cruelty. Roderick grabbed the strap of Genevieve's yellow canvas backpack and ripped it off her shoulder with such force she stumbled. He didn't just take it. He unzipped it and dumped its contents, a few white papers, a tattered book, and a mobile device, across the pristine marble floor. "Looks like your appointment is with the dumpster," Roderick sneered. The witnesses in the scene, a dozen office workers, became a wall of white and yellow energy. Killian, in a white button-down, Iris, in a yellow blouse, stood perfectly still, their phones raised. Their glowing screens captured every aggressive shove and every snarl on Sterling's unmasked face. "Sterling," Genevieve said, her eyes now a cold, piercing deep navy blue as he clutched her upper arm with a bruising grip and dragged her toward the revolving doors. "You just threw the person who created this company onto the street. You will regret this." "I only regret letting you breathe my air," Sterling roared. He delivered a final, aggressive shove to her shoulder that sent her sprawling out onto the concrete sidewalk, unaware that Genevieve's deep navy coat was embedded with a recording device that had just streamed his entire physical assault directly to the Apex Corp secure server. The sun beat down on the sidewalk where Genevieve stood, but inside the lobby, the temperature seemed to drop to sub-zero. Sterling was still at the glass doors, laughing loudly with Roderick. "Did you see her face?" Sterling mocked, pointing at the drifter, picking up her yellow backpack. Genevieve didn't look down. She reached into her deep navy trench coat and pulled out a sleek, black encrypted phone. With a single swipe, she sent a command. Instantly, the massive 50-foot digital display in the lobby, the ticker of power, flickered and died. It erupted into a high-definition, multi-angle replay of Sterling's face, unmasked and snarling, as he physically assaulted Genevieve seconds ago. The lobby went deathly silent. Sterling's face drained of color, contrasting sharply with his bold red tie. The words "Vanguard Emergency Override" began pulsing in royal blue across every screen in the building. "Sterling, look at the signature on your original founding charter." Genevieve's voice suddenly boomed through the building's PA system. "It isn't the name of a drifter. It's the name of the woman you just put your hands on. It's mine." Sterling stumbled back, his bold red tie suddenly feeling like a noose. The power shift was absolute. The man who thought he was a king realized he was just a temporary tenant in Genevieve's house, and his lease had just been canceled. The witnesses, Killian and Iris, didn't lower their cameras. They moved toward the center of the lobby, creating a perimeter of recording light. From the private elevators, a federal liquidation team and security emerged, all dressed in sharp, deep navy suits. "Sterling Vance," the lead agent said, stepping forward. "By order of the majority shareholder, your assets are frozen and your employment is terminated for cause." Sterling tried to regain a shred of his former footing. In a final act of aggressive desperation, he lunged forward to grab the agent's collar, trying to shove him back. He was instantly met with the consequences. Two security officers in deep navy stepped in. They firmly gripped Sterling's arms, twisting him behind his back and physically forcing him down until his knees hit the cold marble floor. Roderick, seeing the empire collapse, tried to crawl away, but the white and yellow crowd of workers blocked his path, their phones documenting every second of his cowardice. The humiliation was total and public. The agents didn't just fire Sterling. They physically dragged him by his armpits across the long expanse of the lobby floor toward the revolving doors. His bold red tie was torn and askew. Dragging against the dust of the floors, he was unceremoniously tossed out onto the very same concrete sidewalk where he had shoved Genevieve only minutes before. Genevieve walked back into the lobby through the revolving doors. She picked up the white papers that had been scattered and placed them back in her yellow backpack. "Apex Corp is under new management," she told the lobby. "The era of the Predator is over." She turned and walked toward the CEO's private elevator as the witnesses broke into a deafening cheer.